Greetings.
Welcome to Ignite Your Soul. Welcome to Ignite. Welcome to Ignite Your Soul Connection Masterclass. Thank you for joining us in our first ever spring equinox edition of Ignite Your Soul Connection, where we are talking about health and healing. In this masterclass, it has been created to challenge each of us to choose optimal health for ourselves, our family, and our community. So be sure to grab your writing utensils, your journal, or your notebook, along with a healthy beverage to soothe your palate. Then just sit back and listen to this amazing podcast. And we thank you for listening.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are so excited to be bringing you this masterclass about health and healing. My name is Mushemsu-t or Rita Stewart, depending on what part of the world you communicate with me from. And we are going to be speaking tonight, particularly about the path of healing. We have an amazing speaker that will be joining us later. But what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of insight into what we call the life quadrant. Now, the reason that we call it the life quadrant is because it gives us an opportunity to focus in on certain areas or certain aspects of our well being so that we can check in regularly to make sure that we're okay. The life quadrant includes mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So we actually have learned, and we actually teach a course in this. I don't know if you've participated with our courses, you've probably heard about the life quadrant. However, if you haven't participated, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about how we use it inside of the healing process. Most of the time, when people get ill, they only use the physical issues or the physical components of getting well. And what we've discovered is that you really, in order to get to the root of the problem, you have to deal with the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual. Okay, so we're going to take a look at those. And what I'd like to give you a chance to hear about is some of the components inside of the mental that you actually engage in every day that can take you out of balance with your energy. For instance, do you watch television all the time? And if you're watching television all the time, what type of shows are you watching? If you're watching the news, that's a low frequency vibration. Now, I want you to kind of listen more in an open mind, observe without judging. So that's not a judgment, that's an observation. Okay, so if you watch the news, it's going to pull energy from you. Anytime something is pulling energy from you, it's affecting your immune system. So, all of the time that you're engaging in negative energy, watching television, looking at the news, listening to music with words that actually does hit at a negative level, if you're gossiping, if you're dealing with negative comments from your mouth to others or from others to you, if you're being closed minded, and even sarcasm can be considered a form of self abuse as well as abuse to others. Okay. So that's some of the ways that you can measure where you are mentally. Okay. Now, where you can be emotionally is actually looking at how you express yourself or how you don't express yourself, right? Are you overly stubborn? Do you have unresolved anger? Do you actually regret your life and you don't fix things to move forward? Do you operate inside of a conversation of guilt and resentment? And are you unwilling to forgive? All of those things hit you at the emotional level. Now, I want you to know we have the opportunity every day. That's why we say our work is all about what? Letting go. Letting go. Forgiveness is another form of letting go. So let's talk about the physical things that you could be doing that affect your health. It could be lack of exercise or movement, too much sitting. All right. I actually have myself a rebounder because as a life coach, I'm sitting in my chair quite a bit dealing with clients throughout the day. So if I have an hour or a 2 hour or 3 hour client, the first thing that I do is get up on my rebounder. And I actually get my weights in my hand, and I jump up and down on that. Actually, I don't jump, I bounce. Haven't got to jumping yet. I bounce, right? And then also, you could also be making poor food choices. All right. And we're going to talk a lot about high quality nutrition this week. I'm sure Ushaas is going to get into it. That's Dr. Tammy's topic. And then Samir will definitely get into it on Sunday. So, poor food choices could definitely take your health way down. Are you eating too much sugar? Okay. If you're eating too much sugar, that will actually accelerate any disease in your body. When they're in the labs and they want to make germs and bacteria grow, they put it in a petri dish with sugar. Sugar accelerates disease. So if you have just a little bit of illness and you're drinking alcohol and eating your cake and your ice cream, you're accelerating your illness. All right. So the other thing is tap water. Water from the sink is not the healthiest choice. There is so many things in water. Now, I know you may not be able to get a water filter or something like that, but I have one of those alkaline pitchers. I think it might have cost 30 or $40 off of actually Amazon. And then every 2 or 3 months, I have to put a new filter in there, but still is better than using the tap water. And also, the other thing that could get into your space when you're looking at your physical is a cluttered environment. If you have clutter around you, it's usually going to interrupt your flow. And I mean the abundant flow, right? Abundance has to move, it has to have space, it has to have energy. So if you have clutter, you have stuck energy. All right. Now, finally, we're going to talk about spiritual. Now, the first thing on spiritual is forgiveness. We have to do that forgiveness work, okay? But also spending time in nature, going outside, soaking up the sun, soaking in the tub, taking a steam, being in silence, doing affirmations, having solitude. Do you really know how to connect with God? Most people don't. They can quote you scriptures, but they don't know God at the cellular level. And that is what's going to make the difference. It's going to help you develop in a sin through your spiritual energy. You have a spirit that is in your body. It came into you when you took your first breath, and it will leave from you when you take your last. But in between, you can nurture that spirit and have yourself live a longer and healthier life. All right. So that's MEPS. And now we're gonna have Nin Ushaas L Ray L. Wait a minute. Ushaas Ray is what I call her. Right. We're gonna have Ushaas come in and tell us some amazing information about how we're going to use MEPS along with our other methodologies to actually work through our health and our healing. All right. So before we should bring her in, let me actually give you a little bit of her background. Ushaas Ray was born in Chicago, and she came in as a feminine energy to actually contribute to the loveliness of the region. At level 19, she recognized her long term benefit of taking care of her body, and she began a journey to comprehend the science of natural maintenance. Oh, I love how she says that. Natural maintenance and care became her way of actually became her focus to comprehend the science of her body. At level 21, she began to recognize the atrocities committed against our ancestors. And so she began looking deeper into that science. Later, she got a BS in information technology. She went on to study under a few other people that she's going to tell us about. She has degrees in divinity, she has degrees in nutrition. So we're going to let her, and then she's also a certified Master Force Life Coach. So we're going to bring her in because she is going to share a wealth of knowledge that's going to make a difference for you and for me. Ushaas,
Hi.
hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you this evening?
Oh, better, better, and better. I am glad to be here.
I am glad that you are here too. Now, you heard me speak a little bit about you. What would you add to all of that magnificence?
Well, I've been on like three paths or three roads in my life journey. And so one is natural healing. One is, corporate America, learning project management and 30 years within corporate America, training individuals on technology and process systems. But one of the most important is bringing that information to help create a sovereign government or assist with the creation of a sovereign government. And so
Oh, yes.
all of those things that I've learned at the age of 39, I actually was able to put that in. That was the first time I had a child. And so
Hmm.
didn't really realize how important mothers were until I had a child. And so,
Oh,
I said, I'm going to homeschool, I'm going to have cloth diapers, and just had a very tainted view or optimistic view of what that is. And so, in that journey, realizing how women or mothers aren't supported in their communities, how the doctors try to take that strength away from us because
mm,
we, as mothers, we pour into whatever that child is, a male or female, to help make them a useful member of society and mentally sound and balanced, whatever their journey is. So
yes.
that took me actually to a deep depression. Even I had, certified natural healing, had talked on different platforms, and was well known and loved in the community. But when my daughter came, it was just like I was alone, and it was a different level. But I know now that was needed because if I didn't have, when you don't have certain trials, you don't go through your lessons to be able to overcome it. So
That's right.
I give so much gratitude for my daughter choosing us to be her parents.
And I actually think that I met you, I believe it might have been at a parenting class or it
Yep.
was something. And you know what I realized today? That was over 10 years ago.
Yes, it was because Heike was 3 at the
She
time.
was 3. That's exactly how I did that math. I'm like, wait a minute, she was 3 when I met her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I remember I was speaking at a school, right, at a parents meeting at an afternoon
Yep.
program. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been 10 years.
Can you believe it? Yes. And in that journey, everything that I learned, my daughter, our daughter is what's so significant about her is because she's the first American princess born with her own venue and jurisdiction for the first time in over 500 years. You
Oh
know,
wow.
of the work of her father, Emperor Khufu. So that's a very, long story, but we will talk about our culture a little later. But the focus has brought me here to be able to re-earth us as gods and pour into, a system that we can actually grow in.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So now let's get on the topic now of the healing arts, Ushaas.
Hmm.
And I know the reason that many of us come together as coaches because of the compassion that we have for our people. It is very challenging us for us to watch our people perish for lack of knowledge. So part of our work is to actually share, uh, and we offer this, and we've been offering what Ignite Your Soul Connection now for over 14 years,
Hmm.
so that at no cost. Well, it cost us because of our time and our energy and whatever, but we don't ask people to pay us simply because we want this information to be available, right? So, what would you say? How do you want to start tonight's conversation about the healing arts?
Well, I actually have, um, let's see, a okay, present this share screen.
Okay, you're going to share a presentation with us.
I
Okay,
am. All right.
it's coming in. Okay,
Can you see?
okay, we can see it. Yes, we see it. Hmm.
Okay. So of course you've already introduced, what this is, the Masterclass Health and Healing. And day one is the MIMPS. Um, and again, the life quadrants, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, they're all relative to your overall balance and healing. Um,
Hmm.
First up, the mental, reading, watching television, talking, cleaning, social media, writing, computer work, paying bills, anything that you exhaust any mental energy towards is controlling your mental. Now, one of
Yeah,
the main things that people, they don't turn it off. It's like if you don't turn off your brain, um, you're not getting any
rest.
messages from source. You're not
That's right.
getting any messages from yourself. You're getting only outside influences. So we all came from unconditional love. We're here learning conditional love. And so there's so many conditions in this physical world. In order for you to understand how to be mentally balanced, you have to understand what's going on within yourself. So all of these things, as you noted before, these things affect your mental, which every part of the life quadrant affects you. And everyone, like the mental affects emotional, emotional affects the physical affects the spiritual affects the
All back around. It's That's right. It's
now.
cyclical.
Yeah.
But I kind of gave the negative inferences. This is really good too, because when you say that people don't shut their minds down, this is why they can't rest and
Mm.
why they can't sleep and why they feel tired even after they wake up. Some people still watch television all night,
Or
or
even
actually have the television on.
indeed. And so not shutting your mind down, there's a certain peace with quiet. And
Yes.
we have gotten so turned around from that. And so the thing is, what you put your attention to, that's your currency. That's your own personal currency.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so that's why everything is surrounded around getting your attention. So when you look at commercials, they draw your attention to go eat or spend money. So that
Yes.
it's a level of control that many people are not even aware of. And then the lack of attention deficit that people have is because they have not learned how to just take a moment and be quiet.
Mhm.
So one of the highest levels of existence is bliss. And in the state of bliss, there's you don't think, stop thinking. But how can you do that if you're always bombarding your mind with things that really don't even have nothing to do with your soul or your spirit or your evolution, but they're
Mm-hmm.
all lessons and habits that we all have to, we chose to do this. We chose to go through these particular lessons.
Okay.
Now the next one, emotions, which is very powerful. It's energy and emotion. So some people say, "Oh, I'm not emotional." Well, if you get angry, if you show any type of elevation within your heart rate, um, screaming, it dictates that you do have emotions. Crying, and emotions, people, they get a bad rap, especially us as females. We have been told that we're so emotional, you're so emotional, and they've played that card for so long. But it's just a twist of us not understanding how to manage emotional intelligence. And so the
Yes.
more we get into understanding what those emotions are, so for one, you have emotions, it could be based off triggers,
Mm-hmm.
and that gets really deep into childhood trauma. um like you respond based off of something. So
Yes.
every time a person responds, you have to think, okay, why am I responding this way? Why do I need to, have a conversation with someone that is not really not in my circle of thought? It could just be, most of the times it's just a test. Everything that comes to you, you've brought it there for whatever reason, so you can move forward in your existence. But many people take, if someone, oh, you rubbed me the wrong way. Well, why do I have that power over you?
Yes, right.
how
That's
did I
right.
how did I get that much power to rub
Mm-hmm.
you the wrong way? So,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm rubbing you the wrong way because there's something that you have to look at within yourself. And so you
That's
should be
wonderful.
grateful for me rubbing you the wrong way, because it's say, okay, let me elevate to whatever this is irritating for me.
But I like how you're talking about the outward way of doing emotions, but also suppressing emotions,
Mm.
right, is also indicative of having emotions. And those suppressed emotions do quite a bit of damage as well, don't they?
Oh, they are the leading cause of stress. When you
Mm,
do not deal with your emotions, because I came from a family, it was, you know, we love each other. We loved each other silently, but was very outwardly sarcastic with one another. And so
mm-hmm.
I realized later on in life that it was a defense mechanism,
That's right.
because you wanted to it was, you couldn't be who you were supposed to be. So, it was like, that's a long story of the Willie Lynch residue that all of us carry in some type of way. Um, and so my family, peace and blessings to all my ancestors, but
Mm-hmm.
they showed me um a level of humility that I didn't even realize, just with the sarcasm. You're not
That's
a,
right.
you don't care about anything. You can, someone can say anything to you and it doesn't affect you.
That's right, you shares. And you're emphasizing the point that we choose our families so that we can get trained and developed to do this work.
And
Very well said. Yes.
now one of the most there's, four types, as they say, um of emotional responses that we actually have, right? We have dopamine, that's the reward chemical, enables motivation, concentration, learning, and pleasure, promotes determination to accomplish your goals, desires, and needs. Oxytocin, the love chemical, increases trust and motivation to build and maintain relationships, known as the love or the cuddle hormone. Now, I want to say this. Now, uh, like I said, I grew up. I have one side of my family that was just hardcore, no hugs, no I loved yous or any of that. And then, I realized it's like, okay, love is like water. You need it. And so when
Mm.
you don't necessarily have it, um, it gives you a different perspective of
Yeah.
appreciation. Like when I had my daughters, it's like I just love all on her. It's just like she's like, mom, come on. But it was I give thanks to be able to, break those, as you call, curses, generational curses that might provide negativity towards that. But
Yes.
I
Yes.
we have grown, my family generation has grown from not pouring love into each other, because we're there, Johnny on the spot, if anything happens, but not to that emotional connection is something that we have learned how to be more in tune with.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, if you you mimic your relationships are mimicked based off your parents. So a lot of those emotions we carry with them if we don't deal with them. And if your parents were a little toxic, again, all of it is lessened. So when I say the words toxic, it's nothing negative. We've had this crazy thing of saying, oh, this is good, this is bad. There's no such thing, right?
No such thing. It just is. It's all part of
It
the
just
the
is.
weaving. Yes, right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
It just is. So I want to make that clear when I say it, like, oh, she talking about her people. No, I'm talking about how we've healed.
That's
We
right.
all have to heal. And I'm a testimony of that heal.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
right.
And moving forward, the serotonin, the mood stabilizers, improves general well-being and happiness, can create positive emotions, and plays a role in our social dynamics. Um, Next one, endorphins, the painkiller, a natural painkiller in response to acute pain or stress, also aids in our general well-being and release when laughing too. Now, one of the main things that I've learned in natural healing, there's so many different ways that you can um, get jump on these emotions. You have Chinese energetics, kinesiology, you have aromatherapy, tapping, which is a form of Chinese energetics. We'll talk about a little later. But all these things are available. There's outside things that some communities have utilized um, as a cash cow to help people deal with their emotions. However,
Oh yes.
I'm very careful on how I'm saying it,
I
that.
know.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
However, there are natural ways to increase these particular emotional endorphins for ourselves.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Wonderful. I love that list. Thank you.
Okay. Now, how do you know if you are low in one or more of the emotions, right? So we're just in a fast-paced tech world, you know, because I was just saying the other day, somebody called me and it was like, you ain't answering your phone. And I was just like, okay. Do you remember back in the day, in the 80s, had to wait. You had to wait for me to get home. Hopefully, I had an answering machine.
And some of us did not.
And I have an answering machine, and wait for me to check the message
That's right.
and then decide to call you back. But now,
Mm-hmm.
like, just so instant, it's just attack on people's time. Um, that's a little invasive, when you have to get in balance on a regular basis. So I,
Mm.
that's a huge part of the emotional disconnect that's happening in everyone's lives. Everything, oh, I need you right now. I need this right now. No, you don't.
No,
You
you don't.
don't. No,
That's
you
right.
don't.
That is so true because part of that emotional development that we miss out on is that most of us have been taught how to be codependent,
Mm,
not interdependent, but codependent. I need you now. Now you got to download. You don't need me. Connect to your source, right?
indeed, indeed. Now, how do you know if you are low in one of those emotional endorphins that you need? The first one, procrastination, mood swings, inability to focus, feeling anxious, low energy, fatigue, lack of motivation, low self esteem, feeling hopeless. So I hear that all the time.
Yes.
Everybody's got something going on because they're
Yes.
just emotionally drained. Next up, lack of motivation, feeling anxious, disconnection of relationships, insomnia, low energy, fatigue, stress, feeling lonely. Next up, anxiety, panic attacks, overly sensitive, mood swings, social phobia, insomnia, low self esteem, obsession, compulsion. Last but not
Mm.
least, impulsive behavior, anxiety, depression, insomnia, aches and pains. I've
Yes.
gone through all of them.
I'm sure most of us can attest to that.
But some more than others. I mean, I literally,
Some people live in that energy. That's
um,
right.
and it's not healthy.
No.
One of the things that I did study in my certification is iridology, and
Yes.
so, they always tell you the health professionals are the ones that need the most health, right? Most help.
Well, we know the average age of a doctor, the doctors die usually at the age of 52.
Oh wow, oh
The
wow.
average age of the death of a doctor is usually 52. Yeah. They're
Well,
not they're not saving themselves, that's for
yeah,
sure.
and I definitely I was going through just a lot. And so when I had an opportunity to just do nothing, I said,
Mhm.
let me check myself. Let me look in my eyes because many times, we're helping so many other people is we forget to turn that energy back to self. So I looked in my eyes. I had three and a half stress rings in my eyes. And so
Mm.
3 to 4 stress rings, you have a nervous breakdown.
Wow.
With that, I was like, oh, okay, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I do it. So I had to, heal myself. I
That's
had
right.
to, and I wasn't going to Jackson Park. I wasn't going to University of Chicago. I wasn't going to any of those places.
Mhm.
So I had to, go back into my toolkit and go back into my mind and take things away to help me emotionally be balanced and me
That's right.
emotionally okay, and just stop a lot of things. And so yeah, I'm here now to as a testimony that mind over matter is a very powerful thing if you have the right tools and if you know that it's required of you. Some of us are in oh, that ain't me. Oh, I'm cool, I'm good. But if you're here still on the planet, there's still work for you to learn. There's something that you're learning. Everyone has to figure that out for themselves.
Well, I'm glad that you're saying that you shares because one of the biggest concerns that I have this week is some of my brother kings that have studied our course with me. I have studied, and they live from a very powerful stance, but because they're not allowing themselves to receive, right, it really is it seems like they're getting knocked down, right? But it's not that It's not that somebody's knocking them down, but you can have the choice to learn on your own, or what is the universe going to do? It's
Mhm.
going to have to knock you off your feet.
Yep. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, the universe will definitely set you straight.
Step in, and it is by design, because we asked to come here. We signed up for this work. And so if we forget, sometimes you're like, wait, you said you were going to get this done, but you're focusing over here. Why? Because all the distractions are telling you to what? Get the bag. Get the bag. Everybody's focused on the bag.
The
When
out.
actually, what that's right, the outside, what we need to be focusing on is the kingdom within. When you focus from there, the bag is going to show up just from our spiritual power, not from us extending all of that energy to the outside.
Indeed. Now you know
Yeah.
what's most important too. Um, this being the Aquarian age. Just there's
Yes.
when you look at when you study metaphysics and you study some of the archaeology of our indigenous ancestors, you see that everybody wanted to be here during this time.
Yes.
It's like,
And
well,
they they standing with us too. They watching everything and sending power down when we're open to receive it.
indeed, indeed. But the one of the most important things, not everybody or all beings would be able to be activated in their God power during this time. So there are some beings that are familiar with this to because they couldn't get to the certain levels, they've done everything they can to say kamikaze, let everybody go down with the ship. So that's why we
Ooh.
have so many these mind, if you're in a city you have mind control devices. It's been elevated with the digital, the technology has advanced how they're able to tap into our nervous system. Because
Absolutely.
your nervous system is electric. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally electric.
Yep.
So, we're not going to get too deep into that.
Well, our whole cosmic existence is vibration and frequency and energy. Everything.
Mhm.
Nothing is solid. So if we are not being consciously aware of how we're actually being, as you said, directed, and we're allowing things to just take us away and move us this way and that way, then who's responsible? Not them.
Mhm.
We're responsible. I'm responsible.
Right. There's no victims here. You know,
No,
and that's the main thing. We've evolved somehow to a victim society. Um, and so we're in the process, and I'm so grateful for Master Force for giving this information to the community because many don't know any other options.
that's right.
They want to put our children on all these types of drugs. It's like,
Mm.
this is a baby. You telling me that there's nothing out in the backyard that she can't have?
Of course it is. But it's all a part of that, the new earth children. They want to shut down. These are masters. Masters,
Mm,
ascended masters are born as babies. They want to shut them down because these babies are coming back to bring us forward. That's why these children are like, listen, I'm not afraid of death. I'll take you with me. I came here to make sure that you get clear about something.
what? Yeah, they better know. They better know. But
Yes.
we are here to help those ascended masters. We are here to tap into our higher senses.
Yes.
We have higher senses. There's more than just the five touch senses. You know,
That's right.
we have
Multidimensional beings.
multidimensional beings. And going into the fifth dimension, you have to master your emotions because your emotions also what you feel is what is going to create your reality.
Come on.
So if you're feeling um wonderful and that like you magic and you can fly, then
You can.
you can. If you
That's right.
feel the opposite of that, then that's what's going to be your reality. It all
Absolutely.
depends on what you feel. And so that is the main thing is gaining control of your emotions. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the next quadrant is physical. Now, physical, it's a long list of things that affect our physical environment. Again, they have upped it. Now, one thing I didn't put it on here is the viruses.
Ooh, yes, in everything.
The viruses and everything, the viruses in the air, they affect our physical being. So, first off, food. You know, it's $1 trillion industry to keep us sick. But
Mm-hmm.
food, you have to, I know at one time I had a love affair with food. I went I mean, I would, they was like, "You live by yourself. Why are you cooking all this food?" I was like, I just, it was just a thing, a period I went through. And that was before I became a vegan, a vegetarian. You know, once I after I had the love affair of food, and I was like, you know what? I need to detox.
Yes, yes.
If you haven't detoxed, you need to detox.
And Dr. Tammy is going to get into all of that. She's going to tell you the ins and outs of it tomorrow. But I mean, we need to detox daily, you shares,
Detox early.
And I mean, not just because of the food, but they're putting stuff in in the environment,
Oh,
in the chemtrails and everything dropping down. It's everywhere.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes, yes, yes. So Dr. Tam will give you all some very good stuff, but just going in my experience with the food, once I change, I'm gonna give you one example. It was really interesting. I all my life I grew up eating pork, I think when I was 21 when I became a vegetarian. And then I want to say about 30ish, I when I was into got into natural healing, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do when it was in Atlanta, and it was a different community down there as far as the level of health that was concerned that I got involved with. And so I was like, you know what? And I met this guy. He had these products where it was a heat cleanse and a sheet cleanse. And it was like you take these pills for 7 days, and every cell in your body is clean. I was like, all right, let me see what you're talking about. So let me just say the seventh day, um, and my mom, she might be watching, but the seventh day was my Earth Day, and I was in
Hmm.
Georgia, and my mom, she sent me a 7 Up cake, and I was like, and I didn't tell her, I didn't tell her that I was doing my fast,
Bad. That's right.
and
Oh.
I couldn't have I didn't have the heart to tell her.
No.
And so I was like, you know what? I gotta have at least a sliver. She went through
Mm,
all this
mm.
just to give me this homemade 7 Up cake for my Earth Day. So let me go ahead and taste it. Let me tell you. Now, if she sent me a cake, from my mama, Mama Shanita, peace and blessings upon her. She just made transition. You get a cake from Mama Shanita, ain't nothing never gonna be wrong with that cake. Okay. So I said, you know what? Let me just take a sliver of this cake. I took a sliver of it, and it didn't taste right. I was like, that's weird. So, but I ended up giving it to friends and that were with me, and they were just completely glad about it. They was like, ain't nothing wrong with the cake. Well,
Your taste buds had changed. Right.
I no longer had these herbs were so powerful.
Yes.
I no longer had sugar in my body. I no
Yeah,
longer had uh um white flour products in my body.
that's right. That's
Everything,
right.
and at that point, that's when I became a vegan. You know,
Mm,
and so with that, I was moving in a whole different way
that's
just
right.
with the food, that I put into my body. And so gradually, now, I'm a vegetarian most days. So, you learn, some joys. Sometimes, everything is a balance. You have to decide on what's best for you at what period of time. But once you cleanse your palate, you see a whole new other life. And that's probably the biggest part of the physical. Now,
Yes.
the next point is the clothing. Now, I've been doing a little research because, as I said, I'm assisting with building a sovereign government. So we're establishing our own culture, which includes clothing. So in doing my research with the clothing, I learned that what wool and linen has a frequency of 5,000. And cotton, I want to say, is like 2,000. But they said silk has the lowest frequency. I was flabbergasted by that.
Mm.
And it's the way, I'm not going to get into it because it's a little gross, but it's the way that silk is created.
Made. Mm-hmm.
So, and then when you add certain frequencies, you lower, even with the tags on clothes, the
Yes.
tags, they put them strategically on your spine.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. People look at my clothes. They was like, "You got a hole in the back." I'm like, "Yeah, I probably do,"
It,
because I didn't
I
cut out.
took the tag off. I take the tag, I tear it, I rip it, depends on what I'm doing.
I don't care because they
Off my towels, my sheets.
yes, yes, they nestle that tag in so it
Mm-hmm.
can be right on. And it, when if you study kinesiology or Reiki, you're able to test the frequency of things, and
That's right.
your frequency literally lowers when you take that
Mm-hmm.
tag out. Now
Mm.
that was just like in the early 2000s, but now they got little microchips small enough
Yeah.
put into the clothing to affect you as well. And so now they have now they got the tag list. So I was like, well, you know what? They have digital ink. So
Yes.
even the ink, has it. So
Yes.
everything has a frequency.
Everything has a frequency.
It might
Mm-hmm.
not seem like it's moving, but your clothes have a certain frequency, and it also relates to how you move. You can be tired just because I mean, everybody knows.
Clothes that you have on, of the clothes that you have on, and even if you rewear clothes, if you were angry yesterday and you got up and put on the same clothes from yesterday, you're bringing that same frequency back into you. And we don't even think about that. You want to make sure that you're refreshing yourself, not putting on the same energy, for because we're different people all the time if we're true to our ascension and evolution, right? So
Yeah.
that's another thing to look at. Yes.
Now, another deep thing um, I learned once I moved down south, that you're not supposed to keep the clothes of your loved ones. If you run, because I bought this house down south, and the clothes from someone, was the person that previously lived there, was still in like the basement, and I didn't know about it, right?
Okay.
And so I was like, I was hearing things, they call them ghosts or spirits, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
entities, trying to figure out what's going on. But they said, well, the reason they're still here because his clothes are still in the house.
Yes.
Their energy is still attached to those clothes. So even to the
Yes.
point, there's like, you should even borrow people's clothes.
You shares. I have had at least three clients who would tell me that they broke up with somebody and they can't get over it or whatever. And come to find out, well, why do you still have their shirt? Why do you still have the ring? Why do you still wear the pajamas?
That energy.
You that energy. So you're confusing yourself,
Hmm.
right? You're either going to cut it or you're not. And it doesn't mean that you have to get rid of that person, but you do have to change it into a different relationship. We can evolve a relationship into something else, but
Indeed.
then don't be intimate with the things.
Hmm. Everything has a frequency.
It
And if
has a
you have not
frequency.
cleared out that frequency, even going to thrift stores, you don't know what energies on those things.
Mhm.
You know, you could be having, like you said, nightmares or different visions, and it's because the frequency is on those clothes. So,
Yes. And then they're touching other clothes. And if you don't know how to cleanse, and I don't mean just clean in the wash machine, but to cleanse the energy, you
mhm.
have to, yes, you're bringing it right on through to you. Mhm.
Indeed, indeed. Next up, the environment. I think we kind of touched on that, with the chemtrails and the electromagnetic waves that just
And I
constantly.
think it's important to talk about clutter because, I
Oh,
just can't, yes, minimalist. We have to become more minimal because the energy in our homes is suffocating us.
it's not flowing.
And
It's
it
not.
keeps us in a lack and poverty state of mind.
Yeah, yeah. When I was going through a depression period, your my outer world mimicked my inner world. And so there was one thing. I was reading an article, and they were saying how they're just amazed that how many storage units, the storage units that are popping up
Yes.
that are popping up all over. It's like, why is that a big thing?
Keeping that
Because
stuff.
stuff,
Yes.
stuff. What is this stuff? What are you holding on to? What are you holding on to? Just, I mean, trinkets and trinkets and trinkets. So, I an elder, I had to help them clean their home, and they were fighting me about, oh, don't throw that out. Oh, I need that. If you haven't used it in what, 2 years, I'm gonna give you 2 years. I really want to say a year and 6 months.
And I want to say 6 months. I say
I
in my closet, and thank you, Teresa Lugo, my closet coach. Right.
was.
If you didn't wear it last season, it
Oh,
goes out the door. It
yeah.
goes. You're not gonna wear it.
You
Right.
ain't gonna wear it. You ain't gonna wear it. It's just collecting. And the thing is, if it's not flowing. Now, I haven't
Mhm.
studied feng shui, but it's an amazing science of
Yes.
how to ensure your energy is flowing in your home, how
Yes.
your environment is always open to receiving.
That's right.
Yeah, so get into your
And
environment.
that is a topic. Yeah, we do teach that in our home life course. And I believe last year Bree did a segment in one of our Ignite Your Soul connections. So we do have on our channel, we do have that um, podcast from then about feng shui, how to feng shui your home. Yeah.
Hmm. Now I want to skip down to the sex. So physically, because sex affects us um physically and spiritually. But right now we're just
Yes.
speaking about the physical. Um well, there's so many admins of addicts of these STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Um and when you're with a partner, you didn't is with several other partners that they have been with, if they haven't actually cleansed that partner from them. How many people have actually done a thorough cleanse of someone physically before
Hmm.
you actually enter into another situation?
That's right.
So you're bringing whatever physical, you know good and bad that that person has and intermingle. This sex has become just, I don't understand the term casual sex.
It's
That's
no such thing as casual sex. It
as
is not.
but
It is not
now,
intended to be like that. That's
no.
why we have such a negative flow and so many unloved children,
Mm, mm,
because we act like you can have casual sex. All
yeah.
types of entities are trying to get in here. So if you
What?
open yourself into the to be a receptacle for something passing through and you're not really attached to it, but oh, guess what? I got pregnant.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do. You know, I mean, really, it's not hard to get. Well,
It's
I take that back. There are some people that are challenged with that, but inside of that not caring, that casualty, that
bad.
casualness, you know, it's always easy when you're just casual about it.
Yeah, they've put on a very they lowered the vibration of the beauty of life, and that sexual energy, we'll get in deeper at another time, but it can actually be used to help you balance yourself within your body. It's not.
Sex, you know, I think it's the most beautiful thing when people are married or in committed relationships and partnerships. That's how you build empires, with that Kundalini magic. That's what
Indeed.
sex is for. When two people come together with that kind of love and energy, you can raise up such a high frequency to it's magical to what appears in your space.
Indeed, you literally create magic, literally.
Yes, with
and,
your
and
partner,
manifest and
with your
manifest
partner,
ever
anything.
you
That's
need
right.
to. But even if you don't have a partner, there are breathing modalities that you can do to
Oh,
exercise
yes.
that
Yeah.
energy.
Well, Kundalini magic can be done with single people. I teach that class too.
And it's essential. It's essential
It's
because
essential. That's
mhm,
right.
it's definitely essential. Now, some of the things that can help us in our physical, as we kind of sum up this part, is the food, the clothing. Just be mindful. Your environment, every corner being functional. Um, and I,
Beauty and order is the feng shui. Every corner should be beauty or order, right? If
mm,
if it's not beauty and it's not order, it needs to serve a function. Otherwise, throw it away. Give
yeah,
it away. Do something with it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
This is
my
great.
thing,
Appreciate it.
one of the things I love to do physically, I love riding my bike. I love walking, hiking. Um, I love walking mountains. It's just
Ooh, me
it,
too. I love
to
mountains.
to have and dancing. Oh, we ain't gonna get into that. We need to have another
Mhm.
dance marathon
That's right. That's right.
soon, and of course swimming. But
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's many other things. Uh,
Walking is definitely one of
mhm.
those too. Hmm.
Yeah, so all these physical things, especially as I don't say age, I say, reaching different levels as we reach
Hmm.
higher, if we get higher up in our levels, you have to be physically sound. You have to, move around. You know, my mom, she was like, she's, high, level higher than 20-year level higher than I am. I'm not gonna tell
Hmm.
her age on here, but she she's always moving.
That's
She
right.
I said, "What you doing, Mom?" "Oh, I gotta get my exercise." I was like, she was going up the steps, up and down, up and down. She's like, "I gotta
That's
get
right.
my exercise in. I gotta get, so it's like if you lose it, I remember my dentist told me this. She's like, if you don't use it, you
You
lose
lose it.
it.
Yes.
If you don't take care of it, you lose it,
That's right.
down to your teeth.
That's right.
So we have to be physically sound. If you got a tire, around you, that's not healthy. If you in the toilet, if you in the bathroom too long, your colon needs some care. You know what I mean? You need to physically handle what's going on inside. So we've gotten so um comfortable with asking somebody else to tell me what's going on. But it's like you go to the doctor and you tell them everything. You tell them everything that's going on with you, and then they repeat it back to you like they didn't told you something new.
And you already knew what was going on with you.
You already
Exactly.
knew. And now they're gonna
Hmm.
treat you with the symptoms, but you can just
Do
exercise,
that yourself.
get your blood pumping, get everything flowing for yourself. I mean,
You should.
if
That's right. That's exactly. You shares. I'm sorry. I want to read this from one of our listeners because this hits a
okay,
very powerful feng shui point. This brother says, Reginald says, the picture that you keep on your walls of your loved ones that have passed on to a different realm, their energy is still alive and functioning with that picture. You can communicate with them silently. And listen, that is so true. And we've been taught that they're gone, and we send all this negative mourning and sadness. They can feel that too, and that's damaging for them.
oh
We
indeed,
want
indeed.
our loved ones to be a part of us. That's wonderful. Thank you for stating that. So go ahead if you want to say something on that, you shares.
Indeed, indeed. Let me just say this. Both of my mother's grandmothers are from Louisiana, were born in Louisiana. And so I learned this later on in life. All that stuff was kind of hidden from us. But it was weird to me at first. You know, when they have funerals, they have what is called a second line dance. You know, where they're in the streets, ba, 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 got the
Oh
horn.
yeah, yes, that's
It's
yes. I've been
a
to yes.
celebration. And why? And I found out later, why are they celebrating? You know, my homie gone. Why are you celebrating about my homie being gone? Well, they're celebrating because that person is no longer in a prison. Earth is a
They're
prison. The
free. They're
body,
free.
they're
They're
free.
freed up.
They're
Hmm.
no longer
And
in that
they're available. They're more available to us now than they were in that
part.
body.
Exactly. And that part as
Mhm.
well. Now, and so the thing is, if you're missing that person and you're not grateful for that energy, you can't miss them and be grateful for whatever lessons they have or messages they have. You can't be at the same place in the same time. So if you're
That's
grieving
right.
someone, you never hear the messages they have to give to you.
No. And they can look out for you and they can support you and guide you, but
They
only
wait.
if you're receptive. That's right.
They
Hmm.
waiting to help you. Like, yo,
Yes.
listen to me now. I got you. I see what it is now. So it's a celebration, especially some that are like your parents or siblings.
My
Uh,
sister is always talking to me, and she passed away. It's been 5 years now, but she literally is just always you know and I love it. She's still with me,
Yeah, and so
strong.
we've gotten away from that, us that are God's children or the Most High, or know about that, us soul beings. We have to get more in tune with that reality that our ancestors
That's
done.
right.
And so they make fun or they talk about the Yoruba faith, but that's where we came from, ancestral worship. We didn't have like this monotheistic worship. So our ancestors are here. They've always been here to guide us. But once we got into, was given a different religion, we gotten away from that. um
That's right.
and just we're getting away. We're in the Aquarian age. We're shucking off all that they've given us. And so one
Hmm.
of the most important things is realizing that when our people go to the other side, it's a celebration. Yeah, you're gonna miss them, but I just I give thanks for the knowledge to know that you know, because my dad, he's been gone since 2007. But
Yeah.
it's just like recently he's been speaking to me, he's been guiding me. And so
Yes.
it's bittersweet because I was a daddy's girl. So but it's just a blessing to know that there's a higher level of thinking than we've been stuffed with, so to say.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yes, thank you for that, Reginald.
Yes.
All right. So next up, the spiritual internal factors, beliefs and values. Our core beliefs and values shape our worldview and give our life meaning. When these are challenged or violated, it can take a toll on our spirit. So it's a test of faith, you know. Emotions. Our emotions are constantly fluctuating and they can have a big impact on our spirit. Strong negative emotions like sadness, anger, and fear can drain our spirit, while positive emotions like joy, love, and hope can uplift it. So we
Hmm.
talked about that, as far as our emotions are concerned. Aromatherapy, that's like the fastest way. It could
Or
it,
that and putting your hands in some water. Absolutely.
or on the
Hmm.
ground, putting your feet on
Or grounding. Take your
ground,
shoes off. That's right.
hmm
Grounding. That's right.
grounding yourself.
Hmm.
But we
Hmm.
always have to be an observer of our emotions and not
That's our
uh,
compass. That's one of our compasses. Our internal compass is our emotions. That's right. Tuning in.
indeed. Yeah, watch, not dive in. So that's the
Yes.
lesson for that.
Yeah.
Stress. We talked about stress. Chronic stress can take a toll on our physical and mental health, as well as our spirit. Now, one of the big stress factors is, oh man, how I'm gonna eat, where I'm gonna stay. Where stress is, we're prone to stress. We're born into stress.
Yes.
We get born into stress. It's like, are you serious? Like, okay, I came to play this game. But once you learn, okay, then you can transform. Like I
Yes.
don't have to. I remember one time, just something real simple. Uh, I was outside. It was deep, deep cold. You know how Chicago do like some 20 below mess or something.
Yes.
And we were outside. And I was like, and somebody was like, just relax. And I was like, oh.
Exactly. I used to tell my kids, I said, let the fire burn from the inside.
Right. Right. This is just like,
Use your imagination to heat yourself up.
right.
Right.
It's like, man, I didn't even realize I could just chill.
Chill. All that tension making it colder.
Exactly. And stressing
Mhm.
myself out in the process.
Yes.
You look
Yes.
around, you got a knot in your neck just because you didn't stress,
Now you cold and sore. Right.
you be like, man, you woke up, wake up stressed. You didn't
Yeah.
went to sleep stressed, you wake up and talking about you got a crook in your neck. Like, I don't know how that happened. Maybe
Hmm.
I slept wrong. No, you slept with some stress.
That's right.
Gotta let it go. Um, Physical health. Our physical health is closely linked to our mental and emotional well-being. When we're physically healthy, we tend to have more energy and resilience, which can boost our spirits.
Yeah.
Indeed. I do my best to go bike riding 45 minutes tops,
Hmm.
every morning. It's can't do it now, but Chicago's been giving us little peaks here and there. So we ride to the lake, give thanks, and it's just now the daughter is like, "Can we go riding today?" I'm like, "It's 40 degrees."
Well, here in Detroit, it snowed last night. I was like, snow.
It snowed
It's
here
spring.
today.
No,
It's
I'm talking about inches, two,
oh
3 inches. I'm talking about they had to shovel the walks a couple of times.
oh wow.
I
Yeah.
know.
Y'all get white out, so yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, this but just and then just thinking about taking a cold shower. Cold showers actually, wake up your senses.
They're
It
very stimulating.
stimulates it. And one of the main things, we do in our culture, in Nama culture, is sweats. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
You have no idea how much a sweat can help you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's why we head out to King Spa all the time. What
Ooh,
you talking
baby.
about?
You know, well, thanks to
Sweat lodge. We've been to the sweat lodges too. They have sweat lodges. Yeah.
yes, but the when you really get into building the nipe, having the fire keeper there, you know, you know, um, blessing the four winds and the ancestors,
Oh yeah. Doing the whole ritual.
the whole
Yes.
ritual.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful thing that uplifts your spirit. You don't even realize if you have anything going on in your life, you can get into a sweat and you be like, man, what was I tripping on? You
That's
know,
right.
and it also helps the cardiovascular, ensuring that
Yes.
everything is always flowing, ensuring your breath is always at a capacity to be able to function.
Well,
Um,
there's a scientific proof study that showed that if you go to the gym and get in the sauna at least 2 times a week, that takes care of you if you can't get out and do your aerobics and all of that
mhm.
because it does detox you.
It detox you and it
Hmm.
tightens you,
Yeah, firms you up.
tightens your
Absolutely.
muscles. But yeah, awesome,
Very
awesome.
good. And the only thing I would add to that is what we have to remember is that our physical health is our highest level of wealth.
Mm, mhm. Your
It's
health
the
is your wealth.
highest level of wealth. Not how much money you have. I meet too many people that say, "Man, I would give any of my money, all of my money to have your health."
Hmm. Your health is
Because it's it. And if you let it go, you can't go keep playing the game. So you have to focus on the health. Right.
yeah. And if you have a substantial amount of money, how can you even enjoy it if you can't even walk across the street or
That's right.
you're hindered physically because of your movements? But everything, we learned from the Niga that everything can be regenerated. The sperm.
Everything can be regenerated. But if you don't have the knowledge to know to go and ask, you're going to keep doing the same habitual things you have always been doing with all of that money. And it's just going to kill you faster. Yes.
Indeed, indeed.
Wonderful. That is a great trip. Okay, here we go to the external factors.
The
Okay.
external factors of what affects you spiritually, your relationships. We kind of touched on that a little bit on the physical and the sex. Our relationships with others can provide us with love, support, and a sense of belonging. Strong, positive relationships can uplift our spirit, while negative relationships can drain it. So
Hmm.
that's huge. I know for a while, me personally, I put I had, I guess you could say, some insecurities. So, if you don't feel worthy, you find yourself getting attention from the wrong things. And so
Hmm.
that I had to learn that those negative relationships, it's like, why am I doing this? But it was for me, it was my lesson to learn it. You know,
That's right.
I have no regrets. I have no bitterness towards anyone. I
Mm-mm.
give thanks and love to all the lessons I went through.
That's right.
And I've retired my knife and my crowbar.
That's right. Come on.
because because I've learned that that's even unnecessary. It's like feeding into the negative. So
Hmm.
negative begots negative, so to say.
Yes.
But taking it as, oh, okay, thank you for the lesson. Now I got my badge. Um,
And I can move on. That's
you can
right.
move on.
Because some people don't get the lesson and they keep going through the cycle,
Ooh,
and they keep saying, well, they did that to me, and they and it really is, no, honey, you're attracting that because there's something you have yet to learn.
get to
If
learn.
you just stop and say, what is this teaching me? Instead of what's wrong with me, because what's wrong with me is going to bring what's wrong with you. But what is this teaching me is going to give you a little more insight.
Oh yeah, I went through a negative situation about 3 times until I was like, okay, so don't beat yourself up, you
Don't
know,
beat yourself up.
don't beat
Nope.
yourself up, and some of us are, you have to, if you want to be a mouse on the wheel, that's fine. But obviously if you're here listening to us, you don't want to be a mouse on the wheel. You want to
You're looking for
elevate.
something different. That's right.
You're looking for something different. You're looking to elevate yourself. So
Ascend. That's exactly right. We're
yeah,
moving in a
we
different
are
direction.
ascending, right?
Yes.
Hashtag we are ascending always.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, you know, nurture those loving relationships. Um, some people that I just, from we say from now laters and Chico sticks. Uh, y'all know who y'all are.
Hmm.
It's just, even though I moved off and, everybody's like, oh, she crazy. But when I come back home, they're still giving me hugs. We know you crazy, but we still gonna give you love because we support you and we know you. So those relationships hold in high honor because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can, um that I've come to realize, operate without mask. And so I was
Yes.
to
Hmm.
be a part of a community, 87 for life, um that over we didn't have masks. It was like it was a it was more exciting to be an individual. We weren't into fads. Everybody, so with that, we still carry that same energy. And I'm so grateful because it allowed me, to know what, people who wear masks, what they look like.
Yes. Yes.
Allowed you to go out and be able to still be like, okay, I know what love and support is. So I'm so grateful for that. All right, next up, work. Work can be a source of satisfaction and purpose, or it can be a source of stress and frustration. The quality of our work life can have a big impact on our spirit. Ooh.
That's why you have to choose your job wisely.
Mm. I that has been work has been a very, when you hear the word work, it automatically denotes negativity, like a
Mm.
within you, but um I know with my family, when I was 21, I could say I took the red pill, so to say, at 21. And my family was like, we don't care what pill you took, you better go to school, you better get a job, you better
You better red pill yourself to a job.
right, you better red pill yourself to a job. So, but in that quest of me, my just the quest of that knowledge, I still had like three parallels, within my life. So I've always had a job, and working in corporate America, I've gained so much just learning how the systems and stuff work, and was able to bring that back. But once my last day in corporate America, was May 12th. My daughter came May 13th, the next
Oh
day.
my goodness. Okay.
So, and so I didn't And so it was really interesting how I didn't even realize how much when I stopped working, how much my body just relaxed. Well, I had a
Oh,
child
yes.
to take care of, but it was a different level of not having to be around, if you've ever worked in corporate America, you have so many energies. And so, as I was growing, learning that everybody that's around you, affect you. And then, me being fight the power in corporate America, it's
Yes.
you feel all those energies, regardless if I'm, stellar at what I'm doing, and my work ethics always on point. There's still a level that, okay, I'm working for someone else's benefit. Yes, I've gained so much just being a part of this team, but I need to be working towards bettering my community, bettering I'm not going to say any company's names because they gave me, my training, but they didn't have my back in certain ways as if I was working for my own. If I
That's
was
right.
pouring into something more substantial. So with that, I do consulting. I, had to transition what my work is, for that, because I'm a firm believer that we're all here. We all came here with a particular passion, a particular gift. And
A
as
mission. We all have a mission. We all have something to contribute to the upliftment of humanity. Absolutely.
Yes, and as parents, I learned, being indoctrinated into motherhood, I learned that as parents, we're supposed to figure out how to guide that child to cultivate their gifts, not to throw them in and that's what everyone has been like prone to do. Let's put you into the system because that's what's going to help you to
And the
survive.
system is only creating workers, robots,
Exactly.
people, and tossing out, and then they're getting free. They're taking our sons, our young men,
Mhm.
putting them in prison, and then using them as free labor.
Yeah.
So that whole prison,
Pipeline.
school to prison, the pipeline is real.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so as parents, when we take our eyes off our children and put them in school and think that the school is responsible for their
Oh no.
well-being, that is not true.
Yeah.
If the only education you're providing for your child is through the system, they are not being educated.
They're
They're
done.
being indoctrinated.
Yeah, they're done. They're pretty
Yes.
much done. And that's why our youth is so upset with us. They're like, y'all
Yeah,
still
because we sold them out. We
y'all,
sold our children out.
they're like, y'all still in prison? Y'all supposed to
Yeah,
been out of
the,
prison by now.
yeah, talking about the American dream. We're not here to do a dream. We're here to wake up and grow spiritually.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
spiritual beings, right? Having a
Well,
human experience.
and the main reason why it's about evoluting our being is because we have to take care of Mother Earth. It ain't even
Yes.
about us being gods and being able to fly
Nope.
and be in telekinesis and, you know, get
Mm-mm.
into with our intuition and making magic. We have to take care of the planet. She's taking
Yep.
care of us and we've destroyed her.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
we have a
For
responsibility.
our own, that's right, own gain, not even thinking about what it could do. Yes. Absolutely. And we're still doing that.
Still doing it. Still doing it. You know how many
Yep.
people like here up north, um what was interesting to me is like some of the things like they haven't been smoking in the public places up north since like what, early late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, smoking like what?
Cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
um and recycling, that has been, it was just like a regular thing. But then when you go into down south, I see what they mean. It's slower down there, slower to get into the advent of what's more communal, what's more advantageous for the whole, as opposed to the good old boys. So
Yeah.
as we get further into, and that's the next one, community. um as we get further out of the patriotic society, and that's probably the biggest thing, we have been indoctrinated with a patriotic society that does not really love the mother.
Okay, so not patriotic, patriarchal, right?
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Thank you for the clarification.
absolutely. Where we're actually reveling in the male energy as the highest entity, and I get it. I understand or overstand that. However, it has led to the destruction of a nation, of
Whew.
a land, of family, of children, right? So we can't continue to live like that and think that Mother Earth is going to let us stay here.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's like what's interesting, if you look at some of the old, well, not old, but when they show pictures of the future, it's
Hmm.
like, why is there no grass? It's like, why is there no, everything is metal, everything is like, there's a certain hatred, for the woman, and women,
Yes.
we are connected to Mother Earth. There's a certain
Hmm.
hatred there that's, it's really saddening, because Mother Earth provides for us all. So there's an overall level of self-hate that has
Yeah.
been, that is what's destroying everyone, but no.
Yeah. And that's really and let me I see the producers want us to say if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Because you can see Ushaas has an agenda, but she will answer any questions that you may.
I will answer questions. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm very passionate. I'm appreciate everyone that's listening, because we are putting into your subconscious. It might be some things you might not necessarily know that we're doing right now, but we have taken the baton to help heal the world, to help heal whoever's listening. Um, and so I just give thanks for everyone that's actually listening, listening,
Right.
listening.
I'm with you
So,
on that.
so going with the community, feeling connected to our community can give us a sense of belonging and support. Being isolated from others can take a toll on our spirit, and actually, it can be the opposite as well.
Yes.
Um, because I know, when I was in the when I lived in Atlanta, and frequent the West End, there's a huge Afrocentric, we love each other, we doing this, we do, everybody's vegan, everybody's vegetarian. But then you look around, they're dying, you know,
Yeah.
there you visit homes and ain't no feng shui going on,
Hmm.
and so it's like, if the individuals are coming to the community like that, what energy is going on in the community, you know what I'm saying? So, and it became like a regular everything. It's like, okay, we're not evolving as a community. There's
It's more
where,
like the pop. It's the pop culture. What's popular?
thank
You
you.
know, not necessarily what's beneficial, but what, oh, they're vegan. Well, I'm going to become vegan. Why? Do you have a reason?
Mhm.
Or are you just following a trend? If you just follow a trend, then you're not really grounded in that. Because as
Mm.
soon as the next new trend show up, guess what you're going to do? Jump on that. and that may not be as beneficial to your body, but because everyone else is doing it, you follow.
Indeed. And then, and then you have the people in the community, you have politics within that as well, and then, we have to learn about the egos. Everybody's got an ego, and then everybody masks their ego. But as what's interesting, as we get further, I'm loving this Aquarian age because
Yes.
I've I don't I've always been very transparent, and that has been many times not a good thing. Um in some people's eyes, I don't care. But everybody has to be transparent now. People are showing themselves like never before,
Mhm.
and with that, the community is changing. So a lot of times the communities that you're in, really deep dive into whatever community. If you have a sense of belonging and supporting your community, make sure you have a wellness coach in that community to check everybody individually so you can continue to have support each other.
Yes.
You everybody, we have a whole big community, but everybody, whether it's whatever type of community you belong to, because the masks are coming off and people and traumas are coming up.
That's
Um, and so people need to be supported like never before. Mental health is on the rise. And that's one of the main reasons why we took the time to have this during the equinox, because like people need help on.
Yeah, and I would even say that the reason that mental health is becoming the big issue is because people are not spiritually grounded.
Indeed.
Can you imagine that with all of these things happening and people don't know how to connect to themselves from the inside and
Mm,
then also feel the spirit of who they are, having them coexist in the world and be able to pull down energy from the cosmos? You can do that, but you
indeed.
have to you have to actually do it, and you have to actually know that you are safe in that. Most people are looking for their safety outside of themselves. And they
Yes.
keep saying something's missing, something's missing. You're missing. You're missing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
have to go inside. You have to literally be quiet, be still, meditate, and listen to your spirit. And
Indeed.
let that spirit evolve, constantly become more of you than, your ego. Because your ego, we, again, follow the fads.
Mm-hmm. Just
That's
like
where
Teddy say, you can't hide from yourself no matter where you go. There
you,
you are.
there you are.
So
Yeah.
be grounded. And the second part of that, being isolated from others, can take a toll on your spirit. Now, for
Hmm.
me, you always tease me. I got the only child syndrome, but so I learned how to be okay with isolation at an early age. Um, and then after a while, it was just like, okay, I need to be around some people.
Yes.
So there's a balance that we always have to take into account when we think about community and we think about isolation.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need love, sometimes you need to sit quiet so you can hear yourself, you can hear, your own heartbeat, you can hear how
That's
you're
right.
breathing.
We need both. That's
Yeah. So being isolated from others, sometimes, that can bring up some insecurities. And the thing is, if you feel some type of uneasiness or anxiety, just know that you could be the first of your generation to get rid of that childhood trauma. So kudos to you if you are feeling anything, because some of us is just out here numb. Do you
that's right.
hear me?
Yes. Yes. That was probably my saving grace when I realized that there was a purpose to my living. And
Mm,
it wasn't because I was taught that, but what I was taught at a young age, I was taught that prayer changes things, right?
mm,
When my mom was put in a mental hospital, and when I was 5 years old, and my grandmother I kept saying, "Where's mommy? You know what happened?" And they said she lost her mind,
mm.
and I couldn't fathom what that meant, lost her mind. And I'm thinking, I got to help her find it. And that's what put me on the path to
Oh,
my
wow.
mission. I started at a very young age reading books on my own with nobody else's assistance, reading books on how the brain works,
Wow.
right? And when reading books on how the brain works, I began now trying to see how to help my mother. And
Mm,
that is how this work came about. And look, Reginald's telling us something else. He's saying the minds of our children in the Black community are in bad shape. And the public schools and the rap music industry are making it worse every day. And Reginald, is by design, and
mm-hmm.
it's happening because we as parents are not paying attention. We keep thinking that this is the government and the schools that's supposed to take. No, they're not going to do anything except train our children in the way they want them to be so that they can continue to manipulate us as a people. So
Well,
that's on us if we allow this to continue.
well, see, what the trick to that, they were 100 steps ahead of us because now
Oh
they
yeah.
like, in order for the parents to survive, they had to go out and work. They weren't taught that they had a passion that they could work from home and start a business and be
Oh
able to be there
yeah.
to
That's right.
nurture their children to, useful members of
That's
society and
right.
more
That's
balanced
right.
beings.
That's
But
right.
instead, but now we're getting more into that. You have these teenagers now at the age of 13. They're millionaires and billionaires. They like, no, we're not going to school forever. I don't have to go to
Well,
school.
they might be getting the bag, but they're still not spiritually grounded.
Indeed, and that's why we have our
And that's why,
aces.
exactly, because people think that success is how much money do you make every day.
Mm,
I remember reading an article about a young man that won the lottery for millions of dollars in Chicago, not too far from where I used to live down there on I don't forget where I
South
lived
Shore.
on 49th. On yeah, on Cottage Grove, right? And when they found him dead, his television was on, and
Mm,
there were bags and bags of McDonald's
oh,
all around him.
there it is, right there.
And he had quit talking to his family. He wasn't answering. So again, the only thing that he was thinking about was, as soon as I get this money, I'm gonna do exactly what I want to do. Well, he hadn't been exposed to a bigger life. So
Other than
we have to that's right. We have to expose our children to things outside of the
mm,
community. We
yeah,
have to let them know there's other places to go, to visit, to land, and not just sit them in front of televisions and give them devices, but actually, move. I mean, even the taking them to the zoo, it's so many ways that you can expand the possibilities for your children.
oh
We
yeah.
can, I should say, not you, but we're all in this together.
Indeed, it takes a village.
That's right.
That's what it means. It takes a village. And, when I got indoctrinated into motherhood, I definitely overstood that even more. And what was crazy to me, it was like, I'm like, okay, I only got really like a couple of people in my village because everybody in the village is not privy to our child.
There's no. That's right. Mhm.
So only a handful can even be exposed to your child because
That's right.
we have to be mindful of the traumas that people carry with them. It's like, no, you can't be around if people are sick. You got people that's sick, and we're not gonna even go into all of the sickness that is coming up. What children, how we're releasing all that. So again, if you're crying, if you just be grateful to cleanse, be grateful. This Aquarian age is allowing you to cleanse, take advantage of it,
And release. That's
and
exactly
release.
right. Hmm.
Yes, that's the main thing because once you release, guess what? The flow of new opportunities is there just waiting.
That's right. It's going to show up immediately. All
Eh,
right. So yeah, I'm looking at our time. We have about a half hour. How much more? Let's go.
That's
Keep
it.
teaching.
Okay. Nature, spending time in nature has been shown to have a number of benefits of our mental and emotional health, including reducing stress and improving mood. Nature can also be a source of inspiration and awe, um, which can uplift our spirits. So we did speak about that before. How to improve your life quadrants. Small daily tasks completed, moving your body, creative writing, crafting, baking, eating food, positive food, things that actually work with you as sustenance, doing self care activities, playing with your pet for those that like animals, holding hands, physical touch. That hugging is like water for me.
Medicine, baby. Medicine.
It's
That's
like,
right.
how could you not get a hug every day?
Mm.
Hugging loved ones for at least 30 seconds. My daughter sees me kind of crazy. She be like, "You need a hug, mommy?" I say, "Yes, I do."
Yes, yes,
Either giving or receiving compliments, you
yes,
know, and just speaking to people, that's just speaking to someone. It's a whole nother level that you can just put positive energy, just be infectious with positive energy.
yes,
Sunlight, meditation, being in nature, massages, cold showers, moving your body, walking, swimming, and cycling. We noted that. Laughter. Oh, I can't even talk about how important laughter is. I gotta laugh
Mhm.
at least once a day. At least 10 times a day. I'm laughing. I'm just
Mhm.
have to. Watching the comedy, moving your body, dark chocolate, essential oils, crying, eating spicy foods, and stretching. Now, if you have some health issues, you might want to be mindful of other things and check with your regular physician before embarking on anything that's being suggested.
Yes.
Okay, how to improve your life quadrants. Professional help. Some people are not able to do those things that if you're not able to do those things, get some professional help. We have loads of counselors here at Master Force Coaching that are willing and able to help you. Um,
Mhm.
Now the next that we talked about is the Bach flower remedies and EFT. So the Bach flower remedies. Now this is just a snippet, but there's actually, just give you a little history of this doctor. His name is Bach, Dr. Bach.
One
Just
buck.
like
Yes.
we know that herbs, can look at a herb or anything in nature, what it looks like a kidney bean. It helps the kidneys, right? Real simple. So Dr. Bach, he noticed that there's certain flower essences that actually relate to your emotional state.
Mhm.
So there's an actual website where you can go take the Bach flower test. You do these, and again, we have professionals here at Master Forest Coaching that can assist you in that if you need direction. But this is just a like I said, it's 30, I think 33 complete,
38. 38. Mm-hmm.
38, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's not right. 38
But
complete
you like that
list.
33.
Right, I'm on the 33.
Uh,
A list of Bach flowers. So each one, the he extracted the essence of the flowers and noted that it relates to a particular emotional imbalance. So you don't mix more than 7 within a time in order, depending on what you have, but they have some generic ones already ready for you
yeah.
within health food stores. But if you have some serious issues you really want to think about, you can specialize your Bach flower remedies to that effect.
Now you
Okay.
don't have my favorite up there. My favorite is walnut.
Walnut.
And walnut is good when you're actually going through a new change in life.
Mm,
It helps you to adapt to change so that you can, kind of not feel fearful or anxious.
yeah.
It helps you to kind of open up to the newness of it. Yeah. Yeah. This is great, Ushaas. Thank you.
Okay. And then the EFT, emotional freedom technique, is a mind body practice that combines elements of cognitive therapy and acupuncture. Now, if I got advanced certificates in EFT, and so I said tonight, I was like, at one point we used to do it, do a practice,
Yeah.
EFT. However, um, I shied away from that unless I'm in front of someone, because the thing is, EFT is very powerful, Chinese energetic.
Yes.
So the main thing you want to do before you even do the EFT, you want to do some reflexology first. You want to open up your channels first, whether through your hands, through your feet. That's essential. So I'm not going to take responsibility for open up people's channels and they're not able to deal with it afterwards. You also have to do EFT within 3 rounds. You can't.
Hmm.
The first round is just bringing stuff to the surface. The second round, it's clearing it out. The third round is releasing. So, and depending on what you're going through, it can be a very traumatic experience doing EFT. It's like
Well,
stuff
you're releasing energy from your cellular
at
level that has
cellular
been
level.
hidden in there in your meridians, and that sometimes pain in our body is just that stuck energy at the cellular level.
Oh yeah.
So when you begin to tap and
Mhm.
release it, it's similar to what happens when you have a deep tissue massage, right?
Oh yeah.
How it can bring up that pain, and then you all of a sudden you bursting into tears.
Oh, indeed, indeed. So I said, yeah, we're not going to do that on this call because we have a listening audience, and you
Yes.
never know who. EFT is very, 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 very powerful.
And it's very effective too.
It's very effective. But if people have to work, sometimes people need more than 1, 2, 3 rounds. So
Yeah.
that's why it's very important that you um take heed when you are practicing.
And if anyone's interested in that, there one of the guys that we follow on YouTube is Brad Yates, because he has a whole series of EFT videos, and
Indeed.
starting from how to use it all the way through to healing and love. And I remember probably about 10 years ago, I did one with him on I love myself. And as soon as I started tapping these tears, I was like, whoa, where's that coming from? I was
Right.
you know, for years I had been doing the wealth and all that with him, but I did that. I love myself. It was like, okay, I have some deep seated healing to do here, right?
Indeed, indeed. So, first point, reduce stress response. Studies have shown that EFT can help lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone. This suggests that EFT can help to calm the body's fight or flight response. Second note, regulation of the nervous system. EFT is thought to work by stimulating the body's acupressure points. This stimulation may help to regulate the nervous system, leading to a more relaxed state. Cognitive shifts. EFT also involves focusing on negative thoughts and emotions while tapping on acupressure points. This may help to reprocess negative thoughts and memories, leading to a more positive outlook. But see that part? This may help reprocess negative thoughts. That means
Mm-hmm.
those stuff and memories, those things come out, and You have to prepare yourself for that.
To deal with them. That's right.
Hmm. So,
Mhm.
but if you continue on with it, it will lead to a more positive outlook once you release
Yes.
that. And um, another option that we have for maintaining your frequency, we have what is called a Nama She compass. Serves
Yes.
serves as a revitalized ancient sacred circle namatized to bring awareness to the subtle vibrations of air, earth, water, fire, and ether. Everything is vibrating energy like an ocean of frequencies. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all ripples in this ocean. Your attention is your currency. Put value on what you give your attention to. The first new moon after the spring equinox, the earth spirals around the sun for approximately 365 days, revisiting 13 constellations. In sync with all tides of the earth, the moon shines and hides in a series of 8 phases for 13 consecutive months. Each moon, parentheses month, carries a she, a vibration, a frequency. The Nama She compass is a gauge of frequencies and provides the best time to ritualize practices to honor space, energy, self, earth, and ether. And I know everybody's like, what is Nama? Nama means Nuberians, is an acronym of the all the indigenous bloodlines on the planet. So we call ourselves Nama. The first letter represents the N is Nuberians, the galactical DNA of the Most High. Next one is A, Al Moroccans, ones that own all the contracts or started the contracts and systems that everyone on the planet actually utilizes today. The Moorish Yamasee American natives and the Amur Washatamur, Didag Damanya. The Yamasee and the Washita are the only natives on the land in Americas that did not sell their land. So we
Mm.
are the owners and here to reclaim who we are. And a part of our culture is our Nama She compass. And so with our compass, we also, if you, the link is being provided to you where you can request for a purchase of the compass. It contains 3 sections. This is just a sample of what it is to come, but it's a compass to help you regulate yourself, regulate your energies based off what's going on in the sky and also what's going on under your feet in the earth. All right.
You can teach a full class in that alone. And I love the artistic flavor of the dial itself. That looks so creative. Absolutely. That looks beautiful. I like to have that hanging when you come into my front door, right? When you that's
It's
get
duly
it.
noted. It's duly
Yes.
that
Have it matted and your frame. That is gorgeous.
it's actually a legacy project. When I started looking at the calendar, I guess, we were working on our projects. And every time the end of the year, this is my second time I did a calendar. And
Okay.
so at the end of this year, I just get so irritated with, oh, it's a magical time of the year. Yeah, it is a magical time of the year.
But do you know why? Exactly.
Right. Do you know why? So,
Right.
we miss so much of capitalizing on our energies during that time because we're focused on, the physical um trinkets. But there's so much magic that is happening during that time. And doing further research, found out that there was actually 13 months. And this calendar, it when I started working on it, it was amazing because every new moon starts a month and it continues on. So, and ended up being 365 days. So every month has 28 days. It's also super
Mm.
deep because our pineal gland, the fluid that ignites our intellect, ignites our God power, actually travels every 28 days, the same as within the moon. So there was a lot of breaks I had to put on, to ensure that the Namashi compass would be receptive to all. So I said there will be a class because you know me, I go super deep, and then everybody like, where'd she go? Come back here, come back here. So I just
Wonderful.
give thanks to be able to provide it. It's definitely a legacy project, and I invite all of you all to place your orders. And
So when will they actually be available? Or will you are you thinking by the time of the summer solstice you're actually like we can pre-order them now so that you can have an idea of how many you need to create, because this is a beautiful piece here, and not just how it looks, but the information and taking us back to our indigenous nature is so important, right? But also, you have this tangible knowledge that you can read and study ongoingly.
ongoing, ongoing. Well, this
Mhm.
will be available within 10 days.
Okay.
It has been completed and we are in the process of printing. So it's available. That's why we have the PayPal link. If you're ready to order your calendar, it's available for you to pre-order and get yours.
Right.
All
Well, I made sure that I pulled that links and
right. Awesome.
yes, because I want to be one of the first ones in. Thank you so much, Ushaas. This was absolutely amazing. And, I'm so grateful that we've recorded it so people can go back and listen to it and actually use it. And, I'd like to go back and listen to things and take notes. You know what I'm saying? Because facilitating, you can hear some of it, but it's so wonderful to be able to go back and actually study. That's something that we don't do enough of, study. Here, Reginald is saying, being spiritually grounded and in tune with the ancestors is very important to achieve early as possible. That's so right. Being in tune with the ancestors should be as important to you as breathing. Absolutely. We always tell people, pouring libation, being present, and knowing that what's around you, the energy of those that are around you is important too, because not all energy, you can have some dark deceased energy too, but those energies are learning from us, so it gives us a responsibility to know that we're teaching as well as learning on both sides of the realm. Thank you, Reginald. And Reginald, you have been an absolutely great participant in this conversation tonight. So thank you for your presence. And everyone here, thank you so much for joining us. Ushaas has given us so much information. And we actually have two more nights of master class. I hear noise. What is that noise I hear? There's two more nights of this master class. On Saturday, we actually have Dr. Tammy, who's going to be coming to speak to us about high quality nutrition. And then on Sunday, we have Brother Samir Ali, who's going to talk to us about the secret sauce. All
Mhm.
right, about those things that we can do with the herbs and the supplements and the astrology and the blood type to really hone in, because we were actually provided everything that we need here. You don't have to be running to somebody else to, because they can't heal you. They can only practice on you. right? So, Ushaas, give us your final words before we go out of here tonight.
My final words is we are ascending, and with that ascension, we're doing our best to bring you tools that'll help you elevate. So I am a NAMA National of the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of the United States, that states small s, the oldest autonomous autochthon independent nation on earth. So I give thanks for everyone in the listening audience to know that we are here to provide you, and we are constantly ascending. And see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Yes, please come back tomorrow with Dr. Tammy. And, all I can say is I am grateful for the teachers in our midst. And thank you. And see you again tomorrow night. Peace.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Ignite Your Soul Connection Spring Edition Masterclass. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch tonight's replay as well as our past episodes. Leave us a review to let us know what you think. We hope you've learned valuable tools and insights to ignite your soul connection and live a healthy and more fulfilling life. This podcast is produced by Master Force coaches A. Alonda Gregory and Marshawn Frencha. For more information on upcoming Master Force Learning Academy classes and workshops, please visit our website at masterforceleadershipacademy.com. Stay tuned for our summer solstice Ignite Your Soul Connection in June, as we always say and encourage you to go out and ignite your soul.